Hey guys, welcome back to Busted to Built. I'm Kurt. Today we're working on this 2015 Chevy half-ton pickup. And it's got pretty much a dead miss right at idle. And it's coming from another shop too. So the other shop, they've already gone through, did a tune-up, they replaced the plugs, wires. They even put a ignition coil on cylinder 2, which is our misfiring cylinder. And I'll show you that here real quick. So right here, if you look, cylinder 2's racking them up right consistent, just one after the other. And that's just looking at the misfire counters. And then look at the engine. You can pretty well tell that thing's just shaking away. Shake, 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 shake. And then the driver's seat, of course, we got everything all lit up here. And you can feel right in the wheel, just chugging away. Raise the RPMs just a hair. Smooths right out. So now what I want to do is I'm going to shut her down and we're going to do a relative, and we're going to do a relative compression test on it. Going to hook the scope up and just take a starter draw measurement, and we're going to see if we just got a compression issue, which I'm quite certain that we do. Again, shop it came from, replaced plugs, wires, ignition coil. They put a fuel injector in it too in that cylinder. So anyways, I'm just going to put the scope right on it, be a quick test, and we'll see what happens. Alright, and so now I got the scope out, amp clamp out, and I'm going to come over here onto the big fat negative battery cable, and we're going to hook on right there. And over here at the scope, we're going to do a lap scope, 4-channel. Listen for the scope to click over. Alright, so here's our trace, and I'm going to go crank it. I'm going to put it in clear flood mode, just throttle all the way to the floor, disable this thing from starting, and then it's going to take a measurement. Every cylinder as it comes up, it's going to take an amperage measurement, and that's going to tell us relative to the other cylinders whether we're high, low, right on the money, but we'll see what happens. Get in the driver's seat again, and we're going to put the accelerator all the way to the floor so it don't start. Crank her over. And you can hear it almost audibly. I'm quite certain there's a cylinder in there that's low. As that's coming around, it should be extremely rhythmic. It did not sound like it was very good, so we'll stop my recording here. Put the scope so everybody can see it. Let me back this up here. Yep, looks really good. Alright, so that's pretty obvious right there. So this is the 4.3 liter, so we're working with a 6-cylinder engine. Right there you can see that's low compression. Didn't have to come up as high as all these others, and if you count, so that cylinder going to be cylinder 2, but we know we have 6 cylinders, and so then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, the next one. We'll page over, and you can see that's very consistent. Again, right here we got a low reading, right here we got a low reading, page over again, low, low, low. So right there we know definitely we're dealing engine mechanical. We got cylinder number 2 that's a little bit weak. That's why it's only misfiring at idle, or that you're able to feel it so harshly. So we're going to get into this motor here and see why we don't have any compression. Well, not any, but why we got low compression there on cylinder number 2. And suspecting we're going to have a lifter issue. So more than likely, I believe probably intake on number 2 not opening enough. That lifter's worn out. That we're not getting enough air charge into that cylinder at an idle in order for it to fire. So but anyways, we'll keep picking away here, see where we get.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Well, when you're good, you're good. There it is. Look at that pitting. Yeah. Or just yeah. Maybe for the YouTube people, just yeah. But that thing is pitted. Excellent. There's the cylinder head, so that all looks pretty good. I don't see anything out of the ordinary with that. So all the valves look good, cylinder looks good. Good. So here we are though. I don't know how well we can see this. Oh, that's coming through great. That thing is ate right off. And then I got the motor turned over, so this lobe on the cam is sticking up through the bore of the engine. And so you can't see nothing. But so down in this hole right here, I've got the lobe of the cam facing up, and that thing's pretty screwed up too. So we're definitely going to need a camshaft on this engine as well. So we'll see what the customer wants to do here and how we make out. And so there, the engine's out of her. Got approval from the customer. Go ahead and get a cam and some lifters in this old girl. I thought I could do it in the truck, but procedure says to pull the motor, so the oil pan's got to come off first before we can get the timing cover off. I actually took all the bolts off the timing cover and popped it off, but you can't get to the chain without taking the oil pan and the oil pump off. So anyway, this is where we're at. We're going to get her all pulled down and see what's going on with this cam, if it's just the one bad lobe and lifter or if we got some other suspects. So we'll keep going, see what happens. Alright, and all these other lifters look good. It's in the light, but there's no pitting on any of these other ones. Looking them over real good, but just part of putting in a new camshaft is the new lifters, so. But these ones are all good here, so. And then again, back to the bad one. It's pretty obvious, so. Anyways, we'll keep tearing her down. Let's get this camshaft out of here and then see what's happening. Alright, moment of truth. Let's pull this thing out. I'm going to use this little itsy bitsy cam bolt. Try and help me get her going here. Maybe not. I'm thinking the high pressure pump's got to come off. Let's see here. Got her. Alright, so right there's the damage on it, and that's not terrible, but it is enough. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. That lobe's worn pretty good. You can actually feel that lip there where she's worn. Look at all the rest of them here. The rest of them all look pretty good, so unfortunate that that was kind of the ordeal, was just the intake on number 2 there. She's wasted. So now we got her all apart and everything's looking decent, so gotta go with the dealer and get some parts. Got head bolts, head gaskets, valve cover gaskets, intake gasket, and I don't think or know that I need anything else right away. Maybe an oil pan gasket. All that stuff gets siliconed on, but there's seals for the oil pickup that go in there, so I might do that. Cam bearings looking okay. The key for a cam bearing is to not look at it, because if you look at it, it's bad. But we'll run her here. So let me run to the dealer. I'll get some parts. Sorry about the light. I'll get some parts, and then we'll see if we can get this thing back together and run it on all 6. So stay tuned. Thanks.
Call me the Joker, call me the fool. When she calls, I always seem to lose my cool. Baby, I'm just a moth to your flame. And don't you know that loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen? Don't you know that loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen? Yes, it is, baby. Got no class, all attributes. Don't know if I'm talking about me or you, baby. No one gets me like you do.
Next morning here, I'm back at it. So I got 10 of the lifters in, and at the dealership he must not have really known what was going on. He gave me 3 AFM lifters and he gave me 6 AFM lifters and 6 regular lifters. So only 2 cylinders are AFM on the V6 to turn it into a 4-cylinder, so he must have got a little confused at the dealer or wasn't really sure. So waiting on 2 lifters now, so I guess I'll try and get the oil pan on it. That can go back on since the timing's all assembled up here. And then I'll have to make a run to the dealer in about a half hour when they open. Hopefully they got 2 in stock. If not, we got to source 2 because this thing's got to get back together. So progress so far, and we'll keep at it.
There's a train wreck waiting to happen. Don't you know that loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen?
go run this thing around. Make sure we're good to go. So we've already left it idling here for quite a while and go through our misfire counters, and still at 0 the whole way through. Now we're getting her up to speed, and under a little load, everything's good to go. Up to speed, set the cruise, throw some miles on this thing and see what happens. Back from our test drive now, and we're still racking up 0 misfires across the board here. Let's go back, read fault codes if any. Hopefully there's nothing there. No diagnostic trouble code, system normal. So that'll wrap it up for the repair on this one. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into the channel, checking it out, following along for the repair and seeing what was going on there. So we're going to get this one delivered back to the customer and get to the next victim. But if you enjoyed the content here, you know, maybe consider liking, subscribing, and you know, even comment, you know, if you got something you're wondering about with your own vehicle, maybe I can help you through that. So but anyways, appreciate it, and we'll check you on the next one.